Hey there, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising. Welcome to your reading for the overall energy for 2024. We're going to just kind of take a look at some overall themes, and we're going to get you some, as usual, the most practical guidance that we can get from Spirit on how to use them. These are the karma cards. They actually cover planets and houses and signs and what to really pay attention to. So we're going to take a look at that, and then we'll see what we get. And so I hope you guys had a nice start to your new year. And they're just taking a little bit of time to come out here. Just give me a second. All right, so you guys have a really big thing happening this year. You got Pluto moving into your sign. It moves in permanently at the end of the year. But that energy of Pluto in your sign for the next 20 years is a big deal. And so even though Pluto is not the planet that showed up here to be paying attention to this year, you are not going to be able to miss what's going on there. And so there is a big renovation in your house that you have, any area where your sun is, right, or your moon or your rising, whatever you're here watching for Aquarius, that is going to get a big renovation, but it's a big collective renovation too. So for you this year, pay attention to what Mars is doing. So Mars is a big deal this year. Let's talk about Mars. Mars is actually, he only is a retrograde like every other year or so. And Mars is retrograding in Cancer this year. He doesn't, he goes into shadow right around the time that we have, he goes into his shadow, I want to say around October 5th, 6th, something like that. So he's going to do a retrograde from 17 degrees of Cancer to about 6 degrees of Leo. And so wherever those parts of your chart are, start paying attention to what you're feeling. Like, I don't think he stations retrograde until we get really into December. I don't have all the dates in my head yet, but he's going to pay attention to what you are feeling, because it's in Cancer. It's going to be about feeling and your sense of power, empowerment, as he is moving through that, especially because Mars is also at home in Scorpio, and so that'll be Scorpio's sun at that time for some of that. And so really pay attention to the themes around power and emotional energy around those themes, and then they're going to retrograde, and then he completes that cycle sometime, I want to say March. I think March of 2025. And so he spends about 4 months doing this retrograde thing. And so there's a lot of energies, and we kind of end the year on a cliffhanger. You know, I almost think his stations direct really close to the end of the year. So I do think that this is going to make emotional energies around the holiday season difficult for everybody in general, but since Mars is showing up for you, it's something to definitely be paying attention to, okay? And then we have the card of Aries. So pay attention to what's going on in Aries. Well, what's going on? Oh yeah, we have the North Node there. So on the 8th of April, we have a we have a new moon solar total eclipse happening. If you're here in the United States, it takes a big cut right through, like clips through Ohio down through Tennessee, Kentucky, gets into Texas. But it is an energy that will affect all of the world and all of the country. I'm pretty excited. It comes really close to where I live, and not much of a drive for me to go and experience a full total eclipse. I'm really excited about it. So there's that. Then there's the 9th house. So the 9th house is higher learning. It's long distance travel. It's philosophy. You may find that your philosophy and how you view things are up for grabs. So Aries energy with the North Node through there is going to be kind of, and Mars rules Aries. So there's a lot of themes around this energy of what is in choice and decision making for you. Aries is that energy for Aquarius. Also air. Aquarius, fuels fire. And so pay attention, because Mars is going to be doing this retrograde in a watery, emotional planet. Mars is in detriment in Cancer. It really hates to be in there, but it doesn't mind being in Leo, where part of the retrograde is. So I feel almost as though really paying attention to your thoughts, because your thoughts are going to fuel your emotional energy. And you have a choice. You have a choice of how you want to direct that energy. You can direct it into the creative. You can direct it into the what you want to develop and to bring forward as gifts, or you can allow it to suck you almost like a backdraft into something that is murky and uncomfortable and could be very detrimental. And so it's important for you to try to keep your thoughts, because Aries rules the head, to keep your thoughts in the most positive and affirmative energy that you have. You also have Jupiter moving into Gemini this year, which is going to trine your sign. And again, but it's in the area of choice and decision making with that Aries energy. And so the way that you think is going to affect a lot of aspects of your life. And so keeping your head in the game as far as where your emotional energy is, and staying on the creative, the empowering, the positive side of things is going to be a game changer for you. And so with the 9th house, this is always about what do you need to know, right? Again, we're in the head space here. So there's a need to do some research, to don't take anyone's word for something. Do your own research. Understand the dynamics of whatever it is. Don't take someone else's word for anything. Do your own research, because that is definitely 9th house activities. It's Virgo energy, and so it's about being into the weeds of the details and understanding things and how do you organize it, and the research and the philosophy of things. And so this is going to be the mastery of the 8. This is the year of the 8, and because 2024 equals an 8. And so there is a need to really master where you don't let your thoughts or your mouth, they're showing me the mouth. So don't let your mouth run away with a situation without doing your own research, right? So make sure that what you're passionate about is there's some basis to be that passionate about it. Okay, so we have here the drive for the energies to meet the challenge of spiritual values. So again, there's going to be a need to really, again, philosophy, being willing to really push forward to understand how you actually feel about things, you know, and that is your own personal values, your own personal philosophy that you're not getting caught up in the community of, but this is your individualization of what you truly believe about any situation or action that you take. We have the confronting of your desires regarding long-range thinking or travel. And so for those of you who wanted to do something off in the future, now is the time to start laying the foundation for it this year. Really, really understanding how much money are you going to need, how long do you need, what is this goal, why do you want to do that, why is it of value and importance to you, and really scheduling that stuff out. We have action resulting from honesty and strength of what is to be shared. And again, this is about honesty and strength, right? This is about what is real. There's a need to not let your judgment get clouded by incomplete information. With Jupiter in Gemini, there's going to be a lot of misinformation. Some of it's disinformation, some of it is incomplete information, some of it is misinformation, just because the game of telephone, where when somebody says something, but when it gets transferred and somebody else is in, the original whatever thought gets lost, right? And so it doesn't mean it's nefarious. Some of it might be, though. So your ability to discern, to be clear thinking, it's important. And so it's going to be a choice that you make to not get caught up in the power of it. You know, Mars moves through your sign, I want to say around March, around the time that we get that eclipse energy. And so, you know, again, that eclipse is going to be very powerful. We, of course, have other things going on in there. You know, and I'm not sure, but by the end of the year, Neptune and Saturn are going to be peaking at that Aries sign really hard. They may or may not be in it yet. I think they get into it in Aquarius season a year from now. So that's something to keep in mind too. All right. So here's ways to work with this energy. It's just to energize your willpower as if it or they came from all there is. This is you energizing your willpower to stay in what is for the best and the highest good of all. Something that looks really negative might be happening because a change needs to be created. And although the process of chaos, right? We gotta break some eggs to make an omelet. And I feel like the whole world is in the process of breaking all the eggs right now. And it gets very chaotic. And so it's hard. This is about being non-judgmental of what's going on out there, in that we look at it as in changes need to be made, and change is messy and uncomfortable and necessary. Okay? So confront what you think you know about the philosophies and the laws involved. Do the research. Just because you think that this is a fact, did you, with your sharp mind, Aquarius, did you check it out? And not just from one source, a really good research paper. Remember you had to do research papers in high school? It's like you had to have 3 sources, and then once you got to college, it was like 5 or 6 sources. And then when you get to like the master's level or the PhD, you better have 20 resources, right? Not just one. We need to master. So you're looking at multiple resources, you know, just really from all angles and everything. And then you come to your own personal conclusion about anything in your life. Don't take anything at face value this year. This is what they're saying, right? Because you don't want to get angry and or super passionate about and excited about something with incomplete information. And there's something about doing the research this year, whether you're starting a new business or a new relationship or whatever. So let's just say you bring somebody home and everybody's like, oh, I heard that person is not good to other people, and they did this and they did that. Do your own research. Don't take their word for it, but also don't dismiss it, right? They might be right. You may not know. And so, you know, it could be that this beautiful job opportunity shows up and you're like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, do the research. Is that a good company to work for? Do their values align with yours? I mean, don't take anything at face value this year. Your ability to use your mind is going to be your key to success, because all these things are about the head. All of these things are about the head and how you think your way through it, and then what you choose to stand up for, right? Mars is about being willing to go to war. Make sure that what you're going to war for, whether it's for the raise, for this thing in the community that needs to change, this thing in the family that needs to change, whatever. Make sure that it actually is worth, because war always has casualties. Is it worth what will be lost? Something will be lost in order for something to be gained. Is it really worth it? So force yourself to do things your own way and do it in a big way. So don't play small. Don't hide out. Be willing to go for things. Have that passion, that full energy of Aries, that power and that passion to go for things. But just make sure that you've done the research and it's really worth it. And then go all in. Then go all in. This is a year where, you know, The more you know, the more you'll grow. That's kind of what it feels like. All right, so let's see what we get from the 9-card spread. We have, starting on February 11th, we have the Year of the Dragon. And so it is a metal dragon. And that is about manifesting things in the 3D. There's that fiery energy, right? That passion. You know, again, I worry that with Mars being such a thing, that you don't get the scorched earth policy. So you had 9th house show up, and we have your overall, your underlying energy here of this hermit energy. This is going within. Does what you hear resonate? This is making sure that there's all kinds of information there, that you have the right information. How does it resonate for you? What is true for you? What is true for you, okay? But you can't tell what's true for you if you're taking somebody else's truth and just accepting it as your own. Then don't do that this year, right? Aquarius age is going to make all of us not do that. It's going to make us have to do our own stuff, figure it out, and create small communities that we really connect with and figure out what's true for us, and then how can we work together collectively to create a larger community. And so there's a lot around that going on, and you guys are kicking it off. All right, so again, there is a need for you to be willing to stand up for what you believe in. The key to the situation is we have the 7 of Wands. And this one is super interesting because they are sandbagging against a flood. That is going to be Mars in Cancer for frickin' ever. It's going to feel like an emotional flood. So what are you protecting? What is of value to you? And this is protecting yourself from the emotional energies of other people. This is about you knowing who you are and standing strong in your own power. This is my sacred ground. This is my value system. This is what is important to me, and everybody else's emotional energy and what they're all caught up in. And there's going to be a lot of that chaotic emotional energy going on this year for so many reasons, but you can see it in the astrology. If you can't see it in the astrology, you can see it in the news cycles. You can see it. It's happening. This is a real thing, and it's in divine timing. It is a necessary part of the process. And so here you have, how do you transform this situation? You've got the Knight of Cups. This is you offering your emotional energy that is calm and love and peaceful. If you were to ask yourself, what would create heaven on earth? What is heaven to you? Because this guy looks he looks heavenly, right? Oh my gosh, right? And so what is that? It's generally peace. It's not war, right? And so you have to stand up for yourself. You have to create your own space of peace against emotional storms. And then shine your light out there, for goodness sakes. You have the sun in the action to take. You shine your light out there, right? And so in order to create this space for you, this is about you being willing to share peace and love out into the world, then calm and shine that light out into the world. We have the challenge is the 6 of Swords, right? This challenge is moving to calmer shores. That is going to be a big challenge for Aquarius this year. It's funny because I would have thought that was a big challenge for everybody, but it's not so far. You're the only ones that have been getting this. And so I think it's because the energy as we shift into the Aquarian age is, of course, the energy that you're carrying already as a signature in that sun, moon, or rising planet, that placement, right? You're already carrying that signature energy, and so you are sensing this probably more than anyone else. And so here we have this King of Swords as what's been on your mind. And this is about, see, there's that Mars fire in the background, and he's holding the book of knowledge there. He's holding the book of wisdom and knowledge, doing the research. And so there is a need to be very mentally clear about how to contain in this. This fire that's raging here, it's not raging, and it's not, he's using it for warmth, he's using it for compassion, he's using it for, to create what he wants and what he desires. And so there is a need to manage the Mars energy this year, to really master that. And you do it from being very clear-headed and doing the research, using the knowledge and the wisdom that is gained. We have the Eight of Wands as what is going to be energetically draining. This is too much information coming in all at once. Okay, so here's what I know about Aquarius. I have a couple Aquarius kids. Lived with an Aquarius for a little while. Really, really like to know what's going on, right? It's so funny. I could pick out an Aquarius in a crowd because they know. Not only are they on their phone, but they're using it. Like, they're not just talking on it. They're doing that while they're scrolling things, right? Like, very connected. And I think there's a need to be very selective about when you connect in and being willing to step away from the energy when it's too much. That's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge to manage all the information that's coming in and to know when to move away from it and to find a calmer place to be. And so maybe you manage your energy by just reading the headlines, but not getting into the stories, not listening to it, reading the headlines, right? Instead of listening to one of the news stations on repeat as they go through the day, and all they do is for 24 hours they talk about everything that comes up, and fear sells. Fear gets the clicks. Shock gets the clicks, right? And it's all about keeping everybody attached and clicking and listening and everything. And you're being asked to be willing to detach, to shut it all down. Not all day. God knows in Aquarius there's a lot to ask. But create a routine where you maybe check the news headlines in the morning really quick, and then you get out and get on with your day. Maybe you check in sometime late afternoon just to see but then find other things to do with your time. Don't let the news cycles become your cycle. You figure out what cycle works for you. Do something creative. Knight of Cups is very creative energy. Do something creative, something that brings joy, that brings emotional satisfaction. That's how you transform the situation. Meditation. The sun dude is sitting in the meditation. He's sitting in the light. You're going to have to balance it all out this year. It's going to be really hard because it's not going to get better. So that's why this year being an 8-year of mastery, if you can master this now, you will survive the very chaotic storm that is coming in 2025, 2026, 2027. And I don't say that to scare you because I don't think it's about fear. I don't think we should be afraid of the storm. I think we should embrace the fact that it's going to change the topography and the landscape of our existence. But again, it's a necessary change. And it doesn't make it comfortable, but it also isn't something to be afraid of. It's going to happen. What can you do to set yourself up for success? As you learn how to be calm in the chaos. You learn how to manage the inflow of information so that it's not like this big torrential downpour, but instead it's a little spigot that you turn on and off when you want to get a little more information. And then you do your own research. In the energy of resources, we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very protective of her energy. You see how she's holding this? She's holding it close to her. She is protecting her energy. Let's see if I can find it. I'm going to show you something. Oh, good. Thank you. Not too deep into the pile. She's being very protective of her energy. The King of Cups, he is open to receiving more. See how he's sitting there with his cup open to receiving more? She's not. She's protecting and holding her energy. In the area of resources, your emotional energy is a resource. And there is a need for you to be very protective of your energy. There's going to be a lot of things going on. And here in the heart space, there you show up. There you are. So to me, Aquarius energy is really more of the Tower. It's not really this energy. This feels more like Pisces energy to me. But let's just say, oh, this is Temperance. Even better. Sagittarius energy is an energy of choice and decision making. Look, what did I say? What did I said don't be in a torrential downpour, but control information, right? By turning on and off the spigot. Here's the downpour, right? There's all the information. She is pouring what she wants into this small container of information there. Emotional energy. In the heart space, this is temperance. This is control. This is patience. This is manipulating the situation in a way that really works for you. You got to keep it together. Just a little bit. You don't need all the information. You need some of the information. Then you need to do your own research. This is a better way to do things. So here we have the Seven of Swords. This is an Aquarius card. We have the Seven of Swords showing up here. An outgoing energy. This one looks like a liar, cheater, thief. Okay, that's not generally how I think of Seven of Swords. I think of it as somebody who is very creative in finding a strategy to make a situation work in their favor. Could be the liar, cheater, thief, obviously, but it also can be just a card of strategy. Like if you're trying to work something out to like the Seven of Swords, he's actually stealing the swords in the Rider Waite so that there won't it's a thief. He's taking the opposing swords so that when they go to battle, they don't have as much weaponry and they'll come to a resolution sooner. And this one, this woman's all into him, but he's looking over here at her. But she's not looking at him. She knows who she is. She is not looking at him. So it doesn't matter what he's thinking. She knows who she is, and she's perfectly fine. She knows, she has that peacock feather there. That's the all-seeing eye. She's very aware of the situation. She knows who she is. She's very confident. And so this year, it's about just because somebody wants something from you or they want to get you to think the way they do, you just pick up the information that you need. You protect your energy. You go within as necessary. There is a need to really control the flow of energy this year, Aquarius, because it's going to be coming hard and fast. And once Pluto gets into your sign, things are going to bust loose. Excuse me, the incense got me. This card right here looks like someone with their third eye all lit up, but I'm going to check it out here. And this one is definitely about keeping your heart healed. All right. The green one first. Oh, the dragon guide. How fun is that? The dragon is here to help you take a stand in your life. The Seven of Wands. Others may have strong opinions about what you should be doing or how you should be doing it. It could also be that others are interfering when they should not be. The dragon has come to help you stand firm for what you believe is right, even if that means breathing a little fire, Mars energy, to get your point across. Don't worry, it'll be okay. The dragon is here to help you claim your power and your right to live your life as you see best. Controlling the flow of energy around you. And then we have Wisdom Guide. It's here to help you with taking in new information and teachings. You know, can't make this stuff up. Wouldn't be as much fun. Whether you are taking courses, going back to school, or learning a new skill or craft, you will find that you're able to process and retain new information more easily. Wisdom Guide also helps you to gain new insights and understandings through the intuitive channels, turning your knowledge into wisdom. And so this is a card of receiving intuitively also. So you have, you're called the water bearer. And that is because you have emotions. And here, there's a lot of cards around emotions. There's 5 of these cards here that are all about water. And, but the thing is that you have the ability to contain it, to protect it. You have that ability. And other people may then say to you, oh, you're so emotionless. But no, you're just gatekeeping your emotions, which this year is a superpower. It's a superpower. Other people are going to have to figure out how to do what you're doing, right? We're moving into that age where the more that we are self-contained and we find the peace within, the more we create the peace without. As within, so without. Ooh, fire dragon. Not the first time we've seen this today, but I got to tell you, when you have that Mars energy and that Aries energy, perfect that you got the fire dragon. The fire dragon says, burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your own soul pathway, right? And so this is about stepping away from the negative energies around you, maintaining the flow, keeping yourself in the positive. Find things that empower you, that excite you, that interest you. Do more of that and less of the things that don't work for you. You have the Sage. This one wants to come too. And the Visionary. They're both Jupiter energy. Jupiter is going to be in Gemini, right? That energy flows to you this year. And so, and this is the Sage here. So the Visionary says, the world is filled with possibilities and the truth will set me free. There's a lot of information going to be coming in this year. What is true for you? That's what sets you free. Your truth. You got to do your own research. You got to know what is true for you. And not be afraid. Knowledge is truly power. And when you need to, step back and take the higher vantage point and see a much bigger picture. That things are evolving on divine timing. You have Jet. This is a black stone that's really lightweight. It's actually cooled lava, which is super interesting, right? Because we have all this fire going on here. I'm always divinely protected. I know I am safe. You are safe, right? And I think that with the 6 of Swords here in the challenge position, you may not always feel that way. And the way that you can feel that way would be to control how much information is coming in and then be willing to do the research on what you do receive and determine what is true for you, right? So release anxiety, anger, jealousy, frustration, deflect negative energy, practice meditation on a regular basis and invoke divine protection, ability to improve and quiet the mind. This wisdom right here, right? So it's like he's got that sword up to kind of protect and deflect. We've got this go within energy and to meditate, and you find the peace and the joy within. You have all the power, but that power is within you. It's not out there. It's not out there. Out there we have chaos. In here we have peace and power. And that's what you need more of this year. All right, you guys take great care of yourselves. I am offering a course. It's a very limited class size. There's only going to be 10 people able to take this time. And what we're going to do is we're going to take your chart. You're going to bring your birth chart, and we're going to break it down, and you're going to get to know yourself on a very intimate level, where your strengths are, where your gifts are, what your challenges are, and we're going to share within the class. That's why it's so small. So that, but it is by actually working with the chart that you're going to understand more about astrology, but mostly it's a journey of self-discovery So you really see what's in your toolbox and what you can use moving forward. So would love to see you join me for that. Information is in the description box below. You can also go over to Facebook. Facebook is Moon Directed Tarot. If you go over to that group, it's open, but come on over. I have at the top, there's it's pinned at the top. So it's I've got Seinfeld dancing around. Okay, so that's where that's at. I would love to see you there. So hit me up, send me an email, moondirect@gmail.com if you're interested. And you guys take great care of yourself and your energy this year. You've got to protect your energy. There's going to be a lot going on, and you need to be your own superhero. All right, you guys take care. I'll talk to you soon.